Hey guys, and welcome back to another Bannerlord Co-op update video. I know it's been a while since my last one, but that's all the better because there's a lot more to talk about. First off, they have finished the transfer system that they've been working on, so parties and party movement is in sync across all clients. There might still be a few kinks and some bugs, but overall, it's working amazingly. Next, I have some pictures to discuss with y'all. In the first one, we can see two players. One is standing outside the training field, and the other one's either in the training field or on top of it. But this is before they fully got the sync down, so I can't really tell if they're in it and it's just displaying weird, or if they're on it and all we see is like just the name, but we don't see the icon or anything, or the character or anything like that. The next picture we can see after some more work has been done, this is the week following. And we can now see both parties, everything about them. So the sync is a lot better here. The week after that, they talk about how they're ironing out bugs and getting more devs and familiarizing them with the project. That's for the next couple weeks. And then the week after that, we see that a UI has been developed for connecting to games and hosts and such. And then the week after that, we get a huge video. It's amazing. Just watch. For the two following weeks after that, the updates we have is that they've been working on battles, so battles can be fully in sync across the clients, and I cannot wait to see this. But remember, they need more developers, they need more people to help work on this. The faster they can get this thing done, the better for all of us. Plus, you know, they all have their own personal lives that they have to attend to, so they can't always be working on this. So the more people we have, the more time that can be put into developing this. So let's go over some questions that are asked a lot, and I want to remind you guys to please check the FAQ if you're in the Discord before asking a question, because a lot of the questions that are asked are ones that have already been answered. It's not that I find it annoying, it's just I can't always be there to answer the questions, even though I'm community manager, because I have my own life to attend to, and thankfully a lot of the people in our community are more than willing to pick up and answer, but it's always best just to check the FAQ first if your question's already there. But anyways, first one we have is, will players be able to make separate kingdoms and do PvP? Yes, each player can found their own kingdom and fight each other. One of the ideas we're aiming for with this is to allow as much sandbox gameplay as possible, like that's in the vanilla game already. and just make that co-op. So we're trying to restrict anything about the game at all. We're trying to make it as sandboxy as the original game is. Is the mod currently playable? That's something we get asked a lot. People jump in saying, I don't know how to build the mod, how do I get it working? The mod is not currently playable, guys. It's not at all. It has a lot of unfinished features, and the mod will not be playable until version 1. Right now, the only reason why the GitHub says you can build it and stuff like that is for testing purposes. And the testing purposes are very basic. If you don't know what you're doing, all you'll be able to see, if you even know how to get to this far, all you'll be able to see is 2 connected clients if you run the game twice on your computer connected to yourself. Another frequently asked question is, will this support other mods? Will you be able to play other mods with your friends? And as of right now, the first version that releases will only support the vanilla game. No mods at all. That's because other mods will require a lot more syncing, a lot more work, and that's something we're going to investigate, try to find the best solution to after we get this even working. Another question is, how many people will be able to play at once? And Joke has said that there's really no coding or engine limitation to how many people will be able to connect to each other, but there is a hardware limitation to that. So for now, for the sake of hardware and testing, we're going to limit it to 8 people, which is still a lot. That's a lot more than the 1 that was originally meant to play the campaign. A lot of people keep asking, why can't the other player just join in or spectate the other player's battles instead of like having the campaign map slow down to a fraction or something like that. And there's a lot of reasons for this. One, it takes away some of the sandbox nature of the game, because that player may not care about that battle. He may have his own tasks he has to do or want to do. Another reason, that if the players are going against each other, it sort of defeats the point, because we try to give every situation here. So let's say the player is spectating, and now he can see your troop composition and stuff like that, and he can counter you easily. Let's say the player plays or joins in. If he plays on your team, he can just intentionally do bad and screw you over. If he plays on the enemy team, well, again, he can see your troop composition, he can see how you play, he can counter you, and not only that, he's probably going to be better than the AI would be, so he'll be able to get more kills in. So that's really the reason why we decided to go with a fraction of 1 times. I mean, it just seems better on all fronts, but the join in spectate option is going to be an option after the version 1 release. We're going to implement it as an optional choice for the players after the version 1 release. Another question we got asked is, how would difficulty be handled? Does each player choose their own difficulty, or does the host decide? And response is, the host will decide. Each player in the game has a lot of different settings, but other players have a set, they can be executed that would be fair. So, in summary, it's going to be off the host, because if like some players have execution on and one person doesn't, one would probably lead to sync issues, 2, it just wouldn't be fair. So the host is going to decide the global settings for the entire world. Also, Joke mentions here that he wants to include tournaments in V1, so you'll be able to go to tourneys against your buddies. Some people ask, what about player imprisonment and executions? And it will work just the same with AI. Like I said, the games will try to work as closely as it does in vanilla. So you'll be able to imprison your buddies or whatever, you'll be able to execute them as long as your settings will allow that. A lot of people ask, what about the constant code and code refactoring that Tailworlds does? They keep changing stuff. Is that going to affect our mod at all? And it has very slightly, but only very slightly thus far. It hasn't really done much, because our mod is mostly written by itself, I believe. But it's only very slightly affected it. He said the Tailworlds made a huge code refactor in 1.43, I think, or 1.4.3. There were very, very few lines that needed to be updated. Very few, so it probably won't be a huge thing that will have to, like a huge undertaking where we have to rewrite everything, redo everything. That probably won't happen, but some crazy things have happened before, so let's just hope. Another thing I just want to throw in here is the Bannerlord Coop now does have a subreddit, so if you want to post there, ask questions there, we'll try to get to you. I believe we will get to you faster on the Discord though, but if you just want to post things related to the subreddit, that'll probably be the best place to do it. Some people have asked, do we go to Warband and make it co-op? They've said no, they're not planning on it, and that's because Warband's in a different language, it's in a different engine, and I believe at least is a whole lot harder to mod than Bannerlord. You know, with Warband you had the modules that you had to load. You only work one at a time here, and you had to hope someone made a module with all your combined favorite mods. But with Bannerlord, you can load as many and as different mods as you want. So that's a huge plus, a lot easier to mod. Someone asked, will split screen be in the game, in the mod? No, it won't. I really doubt the engine could even handle that. I don't even know if someone's PC could handle that. Maybe it could, maybe it couldn't, I don't know. But but no, it won't. The split screen will not be in the mod. LAN will be possible, like 2 computers over a local area network, but no split screen. A lot of people have asked, does the release of the modding tools make our jobs any easier? No, not really, and that's because the modding tools are mainly for animations, objects, assets, mapping, and stuff like that. So they have nothing to do with enhancing or changing or adding code to the game. They're all about just those items and being able to do it from a package or from an application that supports the game. And finally, a lot of people have asked, where can I give money to support you guys? We are not currently accepting donations. We will not be accepting donations until the version 1 comes out. I have massive respect for Joke on making this decision. I think it's a really respectable decision, because when I first joined the Discord, I asked if I could give money too, and he told me this. Again, I have so much respect for this decision. I think it really comes from a good place, and I understand him too, because if for some reason, for whatever reason, that this all of a sudden we can't do this anymore, well, all those donations we accepted, you know, that would just kind of be a dick move, to put it slightly. I mean, so his decision to wait until the version 1 release so we actually have something that works is hugely respected. And Joke even made a joke here, fitting the name, said, money doesn't make things go faster. Have you ever seen any government ever? And that's in response to people saying, you know, maybe it would speed you guys up if you guys have a financial incentive or something like that. And he's just telling people it really wouldn't. We're working this in our free time just because we have a passion to, just because we want to. Again, they do, and I've said this a lot, but they do have their own lives, they have their own things they need to attend to, they have work. I'm not sure about all of them, but I know at least, I'm pretty sure Joke has a full-time job, and you know, he's out there working hard, doing whatever. He has to make a living. He has to think of himself financially before he thinks of some mod for a game. But we really do appreciate you guys willing to support us. It really does mean